Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. Welcome to the Sulk stream, everybody. I'm the Incredible Sulk. And how are you guys doing? You guys doing good? Getting out there? Making me proud? Doing those things, right? Reaching for the sky, the stars, whatever. Doing your best every day. And wearing robes and the black t-shirt and the whole nine. You guys know how to do it. Go door to door. Talk about the Sulk. People will appreciate it. People always appreciate it when you try to convert them. They do. I do. I've been through 5 or 6 religions by now. And if somebody else comes to my door, I'll convert to that one too. Right? I'm very, very gullible. And I believe whatever people say. So, I imagine I am the typical human being. And if you guys just get out there, start talking about it, it'll spread like wildfire. Thank you. Welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of conspiracy iceberg thing. It's going to be a little bit more free flow kind of deal. Because that's how I want to do the show. And it's my show. And if you don't like it, you can leave. It's a work in progress. This isn't by any means professional. This isn't a professional operation. And I don't intend it to be. It's going to be really off the cuff, as long as it's going, which is probably, you guys have me for a while. Barring some sort of nuclear explosion or terrible accident that I would be involved in, I'm going to be here for you guys, trying to convert the masses, trying to fill your heads with nonsense lies and propaganda. But my propaganda. So, it's not as bad as the propaganda you absorb on a daily basis. Sadly, that's true. I hate it when the song... Okay, here we go. You know what? Instead of the Jaws theme, let's just go back to that. There we go. Again, not a professional operation. I don't have an Asian guy working my soundboard. Maybe one day. If I get to that point, then I would be happy, and I would talk down to him just like Royce. And I'd be like, don't make me send you back onto the boat. Right? I will send you right back to Shanghai, where you will work in a textile factory that you cannot commit suicide. I'm on YouTube. I don't know how I can say that. I'm trying not to get banned. I know. I'm not going to be good at it. I'm not. Almost immediately but whatever. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Get comfy and cozy. Do those things that you need to do right now. Go to the bathroom. I'm not going to start the stream over, okay? So if Dan Snot comes in and he's all like, sorry I'm late, can you restart? I'm gonna ban him. I'm gonna ban him. Ban him. Hard. Anyways, guys, get a nice bottle of bubbly champagne, I insist, and get in a bathtub and soak those toesies. Maybe paint your toenails. I know most of you are men. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to stop you. I'm actually telling you to do that. Anyways, if you're working, keep working. If you are driving, please stay safe and keep driving. Don't watch me. Just listen. I can read. So I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming. It's a Friday show. My name is the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called When Did Conspiracy Theories Go Crazy? Did I not do the... I don't think I brought it up. I don't think I brought it up on my... There we go. Again, not a professional operation. Enjoy.
Let me tell you a cautionary tale. The year 2008. I was 13 years old, and I had unrestricted, unsupervised access to the internet on my own personal Dell Inspiron 1501.
And he got addicted to porn.
Most of my
That's my
time
guess.
spent on my computer at
Who
that
do we
time
got?
consisted of playing Flash games on
Boston Buckaroos first. Oh, dude, do you guys remember this website, Addicting Games? Oh, dude.
addictinggames.com and
Ardenshire,
watching
Mort.
Playworld videos on Knox's
Stomp.
Corner. But I also frequented many
Boston
forums
again?
for the video games I played. And I
Hey, boys.
talked to people from all walks of life on these forums. And one day I was in a thread talking about Marvel Ultimate.
Boston Buckaroo says, "Where were you yesterday, John? I cut myself. Smears like this. Smears lipstick on like this. Oh, where were you? Where were you? Well, I no called no show because I wanted to watch a show with my wife, and again, not a professional operation
Alliance.
by any
And for
stretch
some
of the
reason, one of
imagination.
forum members
I'm
started
sorry.
talking
We were watching Preacher, and it's good. Preacher, have you guys? It's good.
to me about this thing called
Seth Rogen
Nibiru. He
produced
went on
it.
to say that there was a large
Interesting,
planetary object named Nibiru,
It's on
or
Netflix.
Planet X, that was currently on a collision course with Earth. So
I
watched video
know you guys probably like wouldn't withdrawals without me and stuff, and I expected that, and I still watched the show and I slept fine.
videos all night about this, and
I'm
I
not
remember
a
being
good
like genuinely
person.
terrified. Like
What
I
can I
fully
do?
thought that all my
I
friends and
can't do
family
anything.
were gonna die like really soon. So when I got to school the next day, obviously I told
I hope Nibiru is a real place, because that would be cool, right? I know it would destroy the Earth and stuff, but I don't know. It'd be cool, or it doesn't matter, right? It really would. If we saw Nibiru and it like passed through our sky and it was like bigger than the moon, I'd be like, that makes sense. That's another thing that makes sense. Millennials, doomsday and aliens and another planet. Okay.
my best friend about it, and he said, that's fucking stupid. He used a different adjective because it was 2008, but he really put everything into perspective. Now,
That's hella stupid. Is that what he was gonna say? Because I bet that's what he said.
what is the lesson there? Don't
I
go on
bet
video
that's
game
what he
forums?
said.
Absolutely. But I think the main takeaway is believing in conspiracy theories is a
I'm not
very
muted,
slippery slope
I'm not muted, but you keep fucking playing like that, and I'll mute you.
when you're in a vulnerable, isolated state, aka alone
Stock says, "Let me get a proper gander at them nips, Daddy. $20, and I'll do it."
on the internet, and also 13.
Not
But it's
free.
important to have people in your
Hey,
real
Amanda.
life that you can talk to and bounce information off of, aka your friend calling you stupid.
JD
Again,
Grabs?
that's not what he called it, but I'm not going to use the word that he said, especially during Pride Month. For most of my life,
That's a fruity necklace. This is a fruity dude. This is a fruity. I mean, he's younger, right? He was 13 in 2008. How old was I? 19. So he's a few years younger than me. Not even that much younger.
theories have just been a
He's
fun
not
thing
even that
that you
much
can
younger.
talk about with your friends, and you'd all laugh about how crazy they were. Maybe you'd make up your
Oh,
own.
Boston Buckaroo said he's fucking gay. He said fucking gay. Oh, and there we go. I'm off YouTube. Oh, let's go full.
And maybe all silly and goofy and all
We're
around
here
fun
now.
time. But these past few years,
here
I've
now.
noticed a shift. I feel like conspiracy theories have kind of evolved from silly, harmless theories into absolutely insane conjectures that people base their entire lives off of. So today, I want to explore some modern
Ardenshire says, "Sweet, Mortified is here. John can start now." Is that the rules? Just because Mort comes in from his land down under, and he's here. I don't do accents, or else I would try to make fun of his accent. But me making fun of his Australian accent would make me look like an absolute fool. So it would be like a self-burn. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to attempt that. But Mort, just feel ashamed a little bit. Okay? I know I didn't come up with anything clever or witty or anything like that, but just act like I did. Because I'm your cult leader, and you have to, dude. You're not going to get into the paradise unless you do precisely what I say. So get those cheeks a little bit flush for me, okay?
conspiracy theories,
All right.
but I want to compare them to the conspiracy theories of
Okay.
the past. And we'll also explore why the popularity and the severity of belief in these theories has increased.
Mort says, no, give us your best Australian accent. Straya. It's Straya. I love kangaroos. Oh, crikey! I died from a stingray. Oh, was that too much? I'm sorry. Steve Irwin dying is like Australia's 9/11. And I mean, that should show you how pointless Australia is as a country.
Increased over the years.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, welcome back to
Sorry, Mort.
I guess we'll start with a little backstory. The history
Stonk says I
of
was nailing
conspiracy
it.
theories is very long and complicated, and it actually dates all the way back to
I agree. I'm good at the Australian accent. So you see what I just did?
1863, when the term was first used in a letter to the
So
editor
fucking
published in the New York Times by author Charles Astor.
Amanda says, "What gen is this? They're so unattractive." I think he's still a millennial. Yeah, he's still a millennial. He's one of the younger millennials, I think. I don't think he's God, what comes after millennials? The Zoomers? Yeah, the Zoomers. I don't think he's Zoomer, but maybe he is, right? Liz is a Zoomer, but this guy is only he's only like 5 or 6 years younger than me. So I think he's still a millennial.
Bristed. He used the term conspiracy theory to describe his claims that British aristocrats were intentionally weakening the United States during the American Civil
Mort said, "Man, we made a special license for cars with more than 270 kilowatts per ton this week. $5,000 fine. $5,000 for driving in sport mode. Place is a joke. $5,000? But that's Australian dollars. How much is that like in normal? Okay, Northern Hemisphere dollars. How much is that? How much is that in oil dollars? Is that like a lot of oil dollars? Because $5,000 seems goofy for 270 kilowatt per ton. What? Cars with more than 270 kilowatts per ton this week. KW. You talking electric cars? I don't know. That is a goofy place you live in. And I'm sorry. It would be fine if like people hadn't gone in and made it like so gay. Because Australia just, I mean, it was cool. And it was like tough. And they were full of like badasses and shit. But now no one can have guns and stuff. And everyone's hurt. And you can call the police if somebody hurts their feelings. You know you can call the police in Australia if somebody hurts your feelings, right? Like calls you a Muslim or something like that. Even though you're a Muslim, they can call the cops and like charge you with insensitivity. That doesn't sound like a tough place, right? That doesn't sound like the Australia I grew up with. No, the Australia I grew up with was like bloomin' onions and bad cuts of steak. And no, that's the Outback. It's the same thing to me. There's no difference in my brain between the country of Australia and Outback the steakhouse.
Civil War in order to advance
Eat
their
fresh.
financial interests, which honestly doesn't even fucking seem like that crazy of a conspiracy theory
Not
at
mixing it
all.
up.
That just sounds like a fact. People capitalizing on a war to make money?
Hey, hot dog.
But the term
Hot dog.
conspiracy theory was popularized in 1964 when the first mainstream conspiracy theory was born, surrounding one of the most shocking events in American history, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. If you have somehow never heard of
So Mort said, that's 362 horsepower. You can't have more than 362 horsepower? Are you kidding me? What? So wait. Oh, it's per ton. Okay, so if you have like 300, okay. So if it's like a big rig, it's fine. But if it's like under a ton and you have over 362 horsepower, that's so lame. Don't you have like those big long roads that are just completely straight and flat? Wouldn't you want to like just floor it? Yeah, I mean, you need like at least 1,000 horsepower. At least. Every day. Didn't you guys make the Road Warrior? Where that was like the entire concept behind Australia is having super souped up cars and they fought over oil. I don't know. What happened to you? What happened to you, Australia? What happened? What made you so soft? Soft.
Of this. In 1964, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by a man named Lee Harvey Oswald while traveling in a convertible limousine in Dallas, Texas. Let's get some John F's in the chat. And the public was told that this was the violent act of one single man looking to further his own political agenda. But when all the details were released, people began to speculate, and rightfully so. There were a lot of strange things surrounding his assassination.
So Lee Harvey Oswald has an interesting backstory. He was like part of some sort of he was some sort of political guy, right? And he was the communists of Cuba or something like that. I don't know. And then he got shot by Jack Ruby. And yep. I don't know what Jack Ruby's story is. They all worked together.
There's a mysterious path of the second of 3 bullets that was
MK
claimed to have entered through the president's back, out through his chest, and then entered through the governor's back, who was sitting in front of him, went out.
Amanda says, I don't want a man with small penis telling me about history. Well, you're on my channel, so.
His chest, went through his wrist, and then became lodged in his leg. That bullet was working overtime, dude. That was the original magic bullet.
Introducing the original magic bullet.
This made people think that there was more than...
Amanda says, this slur can barely grow a mustache. Look how clean his cheeks are. Nothing growing in. They are baby soft smooth, right? It looks like he took like, you know, like a graphite pencil and kind of like, you know how you like draw a picture? That's how I would draw a mustache. I'm a terrible artist. But that's how I would draw a mustache, right? He looks like an artist rendering of a sexual assault perpetrator, right? Like the girl comes into the police station and she's like crying and her makeup's running. And then she sketches this guy out and then it looks exactly like him, right? They look at the picture and they're all like, oh, she's probably not a very good artist. And then they find the guy and they're like, holy shit. Wow. You really hit the nail on the head with this pervert right here.
One shooter involved, which directly contradicted the story that
Pretty
was
sure.
put out. And I could do a whole video on this because there's like so many crazy conspiracy theories surrounding this event. But my favorite conspiracy out of all of them is that JFK
says, yeah, not you, Sulk. Yeah.
Wasn't even assassinated at all.
Yeah,
his head just did that. But like I said earlier, back in
what if JFK's head just exploded on its own? Like it was just, I mean, it's possible, right? They could have implanted some sort of tiny grenade inside of JFK's head, you know, gassed him one night while he was sleeping and then put him in the operating room, put the little thing in his head, and then put Lee Harvey Oswald in the book depository with the Carcano rifle. At the same time, somebody from the grassy knoll has a remote, right? And he presses it when he's in position and it blows up and it creates an enduring mystery. That is not even that unbelievable. I could see that being, there's like magic bullet theories and like, I'm sure there's theories about aliens being involved. For some reason, there's, you know, Mossad being involved, the CIA being involved, and I kind of believe that, but it could be the oil companies, or it could be the guy from Cuba. What was his name? Justin Trudeau's dad.
In the day, conspiracy theories like this would gain popularity for a while, but then they'd kind of just die out. People would move on. It was the 60s, man. All that acid wasn't going to do itself. So let's compare this multiple gunmen conspiracy to a modern day conspiracy theory.
You're telling me nobody is talking about the fact Lil Wayne is a goat.
Yes, I am telling you that, actually. Nobody is talking about...
He might be. I don't know. Lil Wayne. I don't know much about Lil Wayne. But half goat man Lil Wayne? Like Pan from Hercules or whatever. Yeah, okay. I can see that. There's definitely weirder conspiracy theories out there.
Lil Wayne being a goat. For obvious reasons. He's the goat. Yeah, he's the goat, but he's not a goat. Unless the term
Castro
goat was created by Lil Wayne's team, because everybody kept suspecting that he was a goat. So they created the greatest of all.
Hog Dog says, I died on the mountain twice today hauling a plane wreck via helicopter. Do you fly helicopters? Were you removing some sort of plane wreck? Because that's cool if you do. I just don't understand the reference that you're referring to. Fucking hour hike in and out. Oh, so you were just part of the team doing that. You couldn't ride the helicopter in?
All time acronyms, you know, so if people said he was the GOAT, like people didn't really bat an eye. It all makes sense. Because what are GOATs known for? Licking salt. And what is one of Lil Wayne's most popular songs?
That's why he's the GOAT!
This goes all the way to the top of a very steep
Lil
cliffside
Wayne's not the
covered in
GOAT.
goats. All jokes aside, though,
Lil Wayne is just a drug addict. And when was the last time he had a song come out that was like popular? I don't know. It's been a while.
That is a fucking insane conspiracy. The refraction of light was making his legs look weird in the hot tub. And then in this picture, he's just wearing a pair of very popular Margiela boots. And I know that I said conspiracy theories
Those
seem a
shits
little
are ugly.
crazier now than they did in the past, but maybe we're just seeing them more often now because we have immediate access to the internet like all.
Hog Dog says, I had to rig a dual fatality plane crash to be hauled out. So it was tiny. It was a tiny, what was it, like a Cessna? Something like that. Crashed in the mountains. Where are you at? Where's the mountains?
day. Maybe my hypothesis of
Have you guys ever listened to, and think what you will of me, but sometimes I like to listen to black box recordings because there's just something very fascinating about the final moments of someone's life, right? Because you can hear what's going on in the cockpit. The pilots know what's about to happen, and you can hear the terror in their voices right before they hit the ground. It's haunting. I'll see if I can bring one up.
conspiracies being crazier in
not?
the modern day
Why not?
is incorrect. Maybe they've always been batshit insane, but there's only one way to
Why
find
not?
out. Yeah, I made some icebergs. I'm sorry, dude, I can't stop. I can't stop making icebergs, dude. I am the opposite of global warming. And I'm going all out in this video because I
This
not
guy's
only
a
made
douche.
one iceberg, I made two.
This
I made
guy's a
two
douche.
icebergs. That is right. A second.
But to be fair, to be completely fair, this has 6 million views. So it's not, I mean, 6 million, dude. I mean, so that's like 10 likes a second for 4 years. I don't know if it maths, you know? I don't know if it maths. Stocknod says, I fall asleep to black box recordings. I'm glad my chat is filled with psychopaths. Absolute, just maniacs, dangers to society. Manda, especially. I have my concerns about her. She seems to have a loose grasp on morality. Just kidding. By the way, buckle up, you guys. If you guys haven't heard of black box recordings, dude, buckle up, because this is Sulk Stream, right? This is Sulk Stream. This is Have Fun Friday, right? This is the Sulk Stream. Calm. Bank angle. Overspeed alarm. So the overspeed alarm plays until midair breakup. So they diving. Calm. Oh my God, what a terrifying situation. That's a terrifying situation to be in, right? And the pilots, one is like, stay calm, we got this. And the other one's like, we don't got this. We're diving to the ground at faster than this thing is supposed to fly. This is a jet airplane. They fly 500, 600 miles an hour. If you get an overspeed indicator, you're going really fast. Aircraft starts to break up. Yeah. Okay, so they're dead. And that was bad audio. I like how they did this over Microsoft Flight Simulator, I assume. Power flat. Pull up. Oh. It's the end. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whoop whoop. Pull up. And imagine being in the back of that thing. And then you're just like, this doesn't seem like it's supposed to be happening. But you're getting no information. He doesn't come over the intercom and he's all like, we're gonna die. Today's movie is up. Remember when they used to have movies on airplanes? Now they don't.
All yours, Jim. Remember to control.
Hog dog? Wait, what? He says Sulk would have seen it on X, but he's banned still. Well, I have another account, right? Are you not following my new account? Have you just not followed my new account? Okay. Well, you're not really a fan. I understand. But whatever. There. That's what it is. By the way, I'm the Incredible Sulk. I think I've said that like 3 times now. So, I'm in the chat. The name is @SulkTheWhite. Follow me on X. Now let's listen to these people die. God, this is dark. What did you show me, Hug?
You said there's please.
Oh boy. Oh, this is you. Hold on. Oh, I don't follow you, I guess. So I follow you now. And let's look at Hog Dog's. Let's look at Hog Dog's workday, I guess. Ah, boy, that sucks. Woo! Did you have fun carting off bodies? It honestly looks like a fun job, right? You get to be out in nature and stuff. Not that bad. Here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. It's still going. Okay, I'm gonna leave a comment. You are kidding. I just had to throw some salt your way. That's what I had to do.
It is weird with no lights. Yeah.
Taste some of that salt, Hog Dog.
100 knots. Checks. We want to rotate. Whoa! Fuck.
Oh.
Fuck. Oh.
Did they just miss the runway? They just came to the end of the runway? They might have been okay. But maybe not. I don't know.
Ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Okay. I know. This says Aeroflot. And this is a Russian. And I'm pretty sure this plane crashed because the pilot. Now, hold on. I know what I'm going to say sounds ridiculous. Because it is. The pilot let his 7-year-old son fly the airplane. And it crashed. with like 200 people on board. So I don't. Yeah. Terrible tragedy. Terrible tragedy. But don't let like a 7 or 8-year-old fly an airplane. You know, a commercial airplane, a jet airplane. And you know, okay, you would think it would be simple. All you have to do is just hold the yoke and not move it. And then you just go straight forward. And you think, oh, your kid can't mess that up because he's not like doing any maneuvers or anything like that. But he may have like looked away for a second and the kid just starts flipping switches, right? Flipping switches. And then you come back and as a pilot, you don't know what switches he flipped. He's a little kid. Something like that happened. I forgot exactly what happened, but they all died, unfortunately.
Pull up, pull up, pull up. Terrain ahead, terrain ahead. Pull up, pull up, pull up.
That is up, Sergeant.
Pull up,
Control, what's happening?
Height control.
pull up, pull up.
Oh. Last moments, guys. So Motorside said, so what you're showing us is being a pilot has its ups and downs. Yeah, just like working on a seesaw or an elevator or or just being a heroin addict. Sometimes you're high and sometimes you're just not high. Which is sad. It's sad when you're not high. Thank you for the follow, Tweety. Pull back. Here's the thing about these airplanes. So there's two types of control mechanism on an airplane. There's fly-by-wire, which is like, well, there's fly-by-wire and like fly-by, like, I think it's like tether or something like that. One's electric and one's an actual like steel cable that pulls the flaps and stuff. Okay. So, if something goes wrong on the electric one, you can't control the airplane like whatsoever. So if like a tether breaks or something, you might be able to, I don't know. Apparently, okay, what I'm saying is at a certain point, they know it's over, right? Probably before the airplane actually hits the ground, they know it's over, right? There's nothing they can do. They're screwed. They're in a flying coffin. And they know that. The pilots know that, right? There's probably a very good reason why they don't put parachutes on airplanes. There's probably a very good reason. And it's so the pilots don't just jump and just leave everybody else, because it would be too tempting. It would be, I mean, like if you know everybody's going to die and there's two parachutes, right? And you just put one on and you're the captain and you politely walk down the aisle and then everyone looks at you and then you just jump off the plane. It would be funny. It would be funny. I'm sure somebody would try to fly the airplane. Airplanes are not that hard to fly. They're real. I've flown airplanes. They're not that hard to fly. Like, they're pretty intuitive, right? But when you get to the big ones, they're more complicated. But if you're like talking to somebody on like ATC or something, people have landed being talked down, right? I think like a stewardess one time did it. Or maybe that was a movie. But I'm pretty sure it's happened before. Hog says the Colorado Springs crash was a scary actuator failure in the rudder. Yeah. So Shit like that happens. Especially on small planes and stuff, and they fly out in the mountains and stuff. That happens all the time. It flew straight into the ground, huh? When it got too cold, it would reverse rudder operation of the solenoids and actuators. Weird. Mort says, so skill issue? Yeah. I mean, 90% of the time, it's pilot error. Probably more. It's probably more like 98% of the time it's pilot error. But there is those rare instances where it's just like some guy left a wrench in the jet engine or something, or some sort of freak accident happens. But almost always it's pilot error. This is scary. They just don't see anything.
1061 across 17 right without a leg, ground 0.65 if you cross. 1061. 1061 across 17 right, ground 0.65 if you cross. Delta 963 and American 619 cross 17 right, ground 0.65 if you cross. 351, you copy the cross? Yes, sir, we're on the way, Mr. 351. Thank you.
About the speed. 762 at a barrel. I'll call him off.
North America 178, 34. Yep.
That is not a sound you want to hear, especially, well, so they're flying IFR, which is instrument flight rules, which means they're like, they can't see, right? So everything they do, they're not looking out the windows, they're looking at all their instruments and stuff. And you think things are going fine, and all of a sudden, the TAWS, I forget, I don't know what it stands for. It's like, hey, pull up. And you're like, what? Wait, what? Because it senses ground in your, like, you're coming up on the terrain, right? So it says pull up. You should pull up immediately. You should pull up immediately because you're about to hit the ground. There's this thing. It's called the dead man's dive. And it happens if you're like flying IFR or like at night or something like that. You can be slightly, like, you think you're going flat and stuff, right? But you're actually slightly descending. And it happens over the water a lot at night because people can't tell the difference between the water and like the sky. So, and they think this happened to one of the Kennedys, I believe. And so all of a sudden you just hit the water going like hundreds of miles an hour, not even expecting, you just thought you were in the air, but you couldn't sense that you were descending, and you weren't obviously checking your altimeter or anything like that. Pretty scary. So people don't even know, there's no mayday call or nothing like that because you don't know you're in distress until you just hit the water going really fast. That guy says, fuck me. Oh. SOS. It must have gotten hit by another plane, which happens, right? A lot of times, like small planes will hit larger planes. Not a lot of times, but it has happened where like a small plane hits like a commercial airline and then they both go down. I mean, crashes happen. Wherever you're in, you're going to crash. Now let's go back to this pedophile.
An iceberg just hit the video. Both of these icebergs contain conspiracy theories of varying weirdness and obscurity, but one is old conspiracy theories and one is modern. You'll notice the old one is in black and white because color actually didn't exist back then. Everything was black and white. Did anybody else seriously think that as a kid, or is that just me? So we're gonna go through both icebergs one level at a time and compare and contrast to finally get the answer to the question, when did conspiracies get so crazy?
Not crazy.
Yes, welcome back to another.
I figured I'd start with theories that are pretty
Not
crazy,
crazy.
but also really
Not
popular.
crazy. You're just young and stupid. And I mean, again, not that young. I think I got married when I was his age. I think he's like 30. So, that's when I got married. And, you just seem like an absolute tool. I'm sorry. You just seem like an absolute. I was buff when I was 30, right? You have no shoulders. You have no shoulders, bro. I don't want to like judge him on that, but let's be real. Physiognomy, or however you say it, is a very real phenomenon. And he's got suspect physiognomy.
In the black and white iceberg, we've got the moon landing was fake. And we've all heard
Mort said his 30 is generous. He looks 22 at best. No, see, he is 30 because he was 13 in 2008, right? And okay, so he might be like 29. So he's pretty close. He just has no testosterone in his body. And bless him, it's not his fault, right? And it's not, right? It's not like he's eating too much soy or anything like that. It's not his fault at all. It's not any of their fault. It's just the environment that we have been exposed to, all of us, our entire lives. It must be plastics or something that has absolutely killed the testicles of basically all these people. It seems like, right? He's got no stubble. Not even a little bit. It looks like he really, really put a lot of effort into that mustache. Really a lot. Like, really a lot, dude. He probably, like, hoped and he wished every day, and maybe it's tattooed on. I have no idea.
this one. This is a theory that the Apollo 11 moon landing, done by
He looks
Neil
French?
Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Scott says he looks French. Why is that such an insult? I see that's such an insult. Stonknad says French equals gay. Okay, well that makes sense. Right? The French are weird, dude. They have weird philosophies. They had like weird poets and weird authors and stuff like that. It's a weird country. Maybe it's because of the cheese that they eat. Or maybe they're just weird people. You know, let people be weird sometimes. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You want to be weird? France, you want to be weird and have your tiny little president? By all means. Do your thing, France. Although I think France is like rioting. Always. Again, stop. I don't know. They must be. It must suck to live in France right now. Right? Like a bunch. There's no French people left.
Never
It's just gypsies and Muslims, for God's sakes. It's like what? And tourists, right?
actually happened at all. And instead, it was actually shot on a film set directed by Stanley Kubrick. And this gained a lot of traction back in the day.
Mortiside said calling people French is a pretty low blow. Yeah, so, you know, come on. That's not cool. You can't call people French. Even if they are French. It's not nice, right? Because nobody wants to be French. They're born French. And then they're like, damn it. And then they drink wine, which actually doesn't sound so bad, right? Wine and baguettes Okay. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I'll wear the little hat and the striped shirt with the handkerchief and stuff like that. And if you call me gay, oh my God, I will drink so much wine to forget how gay I am. I don't know why I'm doing that.
A 1970 poll revealed that 30% of Americans believe the moon landing to be fake, even though the theory has been debunked by like every science.
JD Grab says, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me. Based. Respectable and based. Right? That's, I mean, we build cities, right? It's not the cities that build us. Although they are making them into a source of prisons now. But people used to build cities for fun because they wanted to, not because they were necessarily forced to or anything like that. They did that because they were bored, right? They build big ass cathedrals because they were bored, because they had nothing else. They had it so good. They could get all the wine and the beer and the bread and stuff like that, the basic necessities. It wasn't fancy. Remember, it was the olden times. But you had enough time and money to build something like a cathedral because you had that time. You could take that from your day and just build it. And like better than that, the Egyptians just started piling stones on top of each other. And they just kept doing that. And they just kept doing that until I guess they were finally done one day. And then they have the pyramids. And they're all like, well, that's a good pile. That's an excellent pile of stones we just made. People will remember us for centuries. And then people say, oh no, it was slaves that built those. No fucking way. There's no fucking chance that was slaves. There is no fucking chance that was slaves. There's no way. Right? There's no way you can get slaves to just keep piling stones on top of each other. They would. There's no way. There's no fucking way.
Scientist ever. Regardless, people are still very passionate about this. In the year 2002, a conspiracy theorist confronted Buzz Aldrin to his face outside of his hotel, and he demanded.
Stonknod says, I lived in France in the 90s, thought it was gay. That's like a really gay era, too. The 90s was a really gay era. That was like Rent, and everyone was getting AIDS and stuff. Now people have aged, sure, but now you do like PrEP and stuff, and then, I mean, you're still gay, but you're not going to die from it. You will die from it, right? Just not AIDS specifically. You'll get monkeypox or you'll get murdered, right? Because the gay community has a incredible murder rate. They kill each other regularly. Why? I don't know. But it's like really common for gay people to kill each other all the time. All the time. And not just each other, like random people too. Like a lot of serial killers were homosexuals. A lot of them. A great deal of them.
That Buzz Aldrin swears on a Bible that he has been to the moon.
You swore on the Bible
Yeah,
that you
French AIDS? Is French AIDS a thing? Is it like weaker?
walked on the moon.
But instead of doing that, our boy Buzz did this.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Oh my god, dude. Just
Okay, so when Buzz Aldrin punched that guy, that was pretty funny, right? But he still might be lying. He didn't do it. He didn't put his hand on the Bible and say, I walked on the moon. I'm not saying that's proof, but that's definitely evidence of something. I mean, he punched him, right? Even if he didn't walk on the moon, he wouldn't be able to tell you that. He would have to sign NDAs under punishment of jail and stuff like that. So he doesn't want you going around asking that. If you give him a Bible and say, put your hand on the Bible and violate your contract, he's going to get pretty angry. I'm not sure if people went to the moon. I kind of doubt it, actually, because I think you'd be fried by the radiation. And the mere fact that we don't have a base on the moon now should be all the proof you need, right? Because that's like sailing to the Americas. Let's say it's 1492. Columbus shows up, right? Sees this land, claims it, puts the flag in it, sails back to Spain, tells everybody about it, and they're all like, wow, neat. And then nothing happens. And then no one goes there to see. No one goes and sets up settlements. Everyone's just like, wow, that's really cool of you to do, and you alone for all eternity. For all eternity. And now they say that they lost the technology to get through the Van Allen radiation belt. You lost the technology. The 60s, the 1969 technology, you lost that. You lost that. Very suspect. Very, especially if it's like probably one of the most groundbreaking achievements mankind has ever done, ever achieved in the history of time. And then they're all like, we don't know how we did it, but we did it. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. And no one can figure it out. No one can figure it out. We have supercomputers. We have like the most advanced AI that's ever been in existence on the planet. Can't figure it out. Horse shit. Horse shit. No. No, you're lying. And people will be like, well, why would they lie about it? There's a lot of very good reasons to lie about it, right? They were competing with the Russians. They might have been doing some sort of laundering, right? Money laundering type of a thing. Trying to hide funds or something. There's a lot of very good reasons to lie about it, right? Kennedy said they were going to go to the moon before the decade was out. And he didn't make it that long. He died, right? He died. So he didn't oversee it. Nixon oversaw it. A man known for lying. Who got caught in like Watergate and stuff like that. So why wouldn't you also assume he was lying about this, right? And he was just flexing on the Russians, who were honestly way farther ahead in the space race than the Americans were at that point. I'm just saying, it seems at least suspect. At least, at the very bare minimum, it is extremely suspect. Okay? If they went there and landed and came back and survived, and then Buzz Aldrin's not riddled with cancer, even though he would have died in the capsule. He would have died immediately, within minutes. But he made it through there and back. Weeks in space. Through a blasting radiation field. And we don't know how to block that anymore. There was some sort of 1969 technology that would block enormous amounts of radiation that we forgot about? That is nonsense. That's bullshit. There's no fucking way. Because we could use that in so many industries these days, right? We can use it in X-rays, MRIs or whatever. I'm not a technician, but there's a lot of things you can use that in. But we just forgot about it completely, and no one wrote it down or even took any fucking pictures. Okay, fine, whatever.
Punched him in the fucking face, dude. That's awesome. Dude, that is one of my favorite videos of all time. I mean, there was definitely a better, more mature way for Buzz to handle that. But dude, to be honest, I'd have crazy anger issues too.
Hey, sweetie. I'm mad about the moon landing. I've talked about this before, all right? I've talked about this before. remember when I met your parents? I'm all like, do you guys know about the moon landing? And they're like, are you sure about this guy? Are you sure?
Do you remember like last week when I asked my dad if he knew what MK Ultra was?
Oh yeah, she's in the process of red pilling her dad hard. Like hard. Dropping hard red pills on him. And he's just a boomer, man. And he doesn't know any of this stuff. And
I told him my trans-military theory.
oh yeah, because she thinks, which is probably a decent theory, that the military is intentionally brainwashing grunts to become trans, which
to belittle MK Ultra soldiers when they need to be activated. There's going to be like 15,000 of them, plus the veterans, which is an alarming amount, just ready for activation. I think about this a lot.
Yeah, she does. Okay. She does. I mean, it makes sense. It's possible. Yeah, you go think about your trannies. Ah, damn it. I'm on YouTube again. They don't like that word. I wonder if I'm going to get banned for that word. I don't care.
If I was Buzz Aldrin. That fucking bastard Neil Armstrong.
I wonder if I even get... Here, I'm going to see if I...
to be the first guy to walk onto the moon, and he got to say the iconic line.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And then I guess Buzz had to go right after and be like,
Me too!
dude, if I was Buzz, I'd be punching everybody in the face. I don't care. And one of the main pieces of evidence that these conspiracy theorists use is the fact that a shuttle with such a small amount of computing power was able to make the trip to the moon and back. Like, they just don't think that's possible, because it was all the way back in 1969, and like our fucking iPhones have more computing power than the shuttle. But
I'm still on, but I don't think I'm getting any views on YouTube. So nope, nobody's watching on YouTube.
In reality, pretty much the only reason the Apollo mission was successful was because of the hard work of a scientist named Margaret Hamilton, the woman responsible for developing the entire guidance and navigation system for the Apollo 11 mission. It just goes to show you that people would rather believe an insane conspiracy theory spanning the course of over 50 years and thousands of people that are in on it over the hard work of one woman.
That's right! Well, that makes me doubt it even more. That makes me doubt it even more. I'm not doubting that she made all these papers and stuff like that. I'm sure there's like, unicorn stickers and glitter and stuff on them. But, math for a woman, come on.
Okay, so we're gonna move over to the modern day Iceberg now. So
women
the first
and
level
math
of this one,
do not
I put
mix,
9/11
okay?
was an inside job. This is also a very popular conspiracy theory. I personally never understood how it could be an inside job, because the plane was clearly on the outside, but that's neither here nor there.
I wonder if I'm allowed to say 9/11 on YouTube, or inside job, or on YouTube side job. I think I have to break it up, right? It has to be different. But 9/11 was an inside job.
Just like the Twin Towers. Based on surveys done all over the world, 25% of people asked who they thought were responsible for the 9/11 attacks answered the U.S. government. So,
well, partially yes, but also the Israeli government, right? Right? I don't. You want me to think it's a bunch of cave people? They can't fly airplanes. Come on. No.
Why do people think this? The number one claim turned
Cave
meme is
people.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. And although that may be true, jet fuel can definitely weaken the structural integrity of steel beams, which can then...
So those buildings were meant to withstand several blows by several airplanes, because they thought of this. Back in the 70s when they were building it, they're all like, what if people take airplanes and hit the buildings? So we got to build them strong enough to take several airplane hits. They thought about that in the 70s while they were building the towers. And then they're all like, when it happened in 2001, they're all like, well, no one could have seen this coming, right? But no, the engineers of the tower saw that coming. The engineers of the tower saw that coming. How can you possibly say that no one saw that coming? It's very clear in the documentation. Also, wouldn't that be the first thing you think of? Like, how to defend our city? Well, there's airplanes flying around the sky, and these are tall towers. Let's make sure these airplanes don't hit these towers. Nobody thought of that. That would be the first thing I would think of, right? Even if I were a child building it, me stacking blocks on top of each other in kindergarten, right? And there's paper airplanes flying around and stuff. I would make sure that one of those paper airplanes doesn't hit my towers to knock it over. As a child, I would think of that. As a small child building with blocks, I would think of that. I'm just saying, right? Maybe these professional security experts aren't that good at their jobs. Just straight up aren't that good at their jobs. Is that what they're telling us? Is that what they're telling us? You're just terrible at your job, where you couldn't imagine somebody would hijack an airplane and fly it into a building. Really? You couldn't imagine that. Really? See, when you say it out loud, it sounds like complete nonsense.
And caused them to collapse. Obviously, a fucking airplane flew into a building as fast as it could. No shit, it's gonna collapse, dude. What the fuck? But the main claim is George W.
Again, those buildings were designed to take the largest aircraft of the time, which is like a 737. I think they got hit by like 747s, which are bigger, but still. They were meant to take multiple hits from a 737. Not just like 2 or 3, but like 10 or 15, right? Multiple hits from the largest jet aircraft of the day. The architects thought of that. Who built it in the 70s thought of that. Right? Right? And what about building number 7? That got hit by no airplanes. Not one. And just kind of like collapsed. Is this guy on the level? Is this guy an operative? Because you don't know. Some of these YouTubers and stuff, you don't know who they're working for. Right? He could be on that side. He could be the shadow government. We don't know.
Bush orchestrated the 9/11 attacks to incite fear
Yes, hit
into
the
the
like
U.S.
button.
population, which
And
would
if somebody wants to hear the bell, do not be afraid to donate.
turn justify the
I'm
U.S.
just
invading
saying.
Afghanistan.
It's getting real. The bell is pretty cold. I'm going to see if I can warm it up a little bit. No, it's shy. It's being shy.
The global war on terror. But they really just wanted to invade them for their natural resources. But honestly, I don't think the American government would do that. They've always been really nice and super respectful. What I will say though, 9/11, I'd say it was more of a 0 out of 11. Okay, we're gonna move down one more row in each iceberg now. We're gonna start with the old one.
I don't like this guy's comedy. And again, he's got 5 million subs and this has 6 million views. So you gotta respect that. His comedy, and I'm not saying I'm an expert at comedy. I just don't like his. I think it's lame and gay.
And what I put here is the Mad Gasser of Mattoon. I've never heard of this until doing research for this video, but when I read about it, I knew I had to talk about it. So, in 1944...
Hogdog says they talk retard for views. So I'm just doing it for free? How do I talk retard? Me talk retard. Me believe. Me believe all. Me retard. Me poopy in pants. Me stinky finger have. Would you like me smell finger? Poopy finger. Thank you.
A series of strange
Straya.
occurrences happened in Mattoon, Illinois.
Dude, what do Australian retards sound like? Is that just hilarious? Or is it sad?
One instance involved a married couple waking up in the middle of the night because of a strange, sweet smell. The husband woke up first, and he woke up his wife to see if she also could smell it. And when she woke up, she realized...
Mortiside says 6 million views. I'll concede maybe 285,000. Yep.
She was unable to move her legs. The husband then became incredibly nauseous and began violently throwing up. Several more of these strange occurrences took place in Mattoon until one person actually spotted a hooded figure dressed in all black outside of their window. News broke out of these events, and the town turned into an all-out frenzy because they were all terrified of the mad gasser of Mattoon sneaking into their houses and attacking them with this unknown gas.
Even Time wrote about the gasser.
He moves through the night as nimbly and secretly as a cat, squirting his Swedish gas through bedroom windows.
Okay.
Wait, what? There was a guy that went around gassing people? Why?
Don't like the wording they used one bit. A guy is squirting his sweet gas into your bedroom? Sorry to break it to you, but I think that's your husband's gross farts.
Fart jokes. Nice.
Because you can ask my wife, dude, nobody's farts are grosser than a husband's farts. Especially in the 40s, dude. Oh my God. When all they were eating was like fried bread and the only
You're not 40, bro. And my farts are not the worst farts in this house.
Showered once a year. Dude, it would not surprise me that a 1940s guy's farts could paralyze you.
Oh, the 1940s. Okay, not like a 40-year-old. But yeah, I am not the worst farter in this house.
Dude, I believe that 100%. Fart that smells so bad you get paralyzed. That's so crazy.
Hey, Alice.
It smells so bad. The mad gasser.
Alice, how are your farts? Are they like loud and noisy, or are they quiet and stinky?
Has got to be the worst supervillain ever. Who are you? I'm the mad gasser. My farts stink so bad they cause paralysis. That's impossible. Oh yeah? Check this out. Oh no! I forgot to wear my nose plug. I can't move my legs. Even with my heightened sense of smell, it is no match for me. Oh my God. Oh my God, my legs! Whoa! There are a lot of theories, though, trying to explain what happened in Mattoon. And with everybody free...
Alice says my farts are not as bad as my husband's. I'll say that much. See, I think Couch Turfing's farts are much worse than mine. Dude, this morning, she ripped an enormous fart. Like, it was really loud. It was like, I had to fart too, but I was like afraid at that point because she like set the stage and I didn't want to like, I didn't want to fart after her and then it's all pathetic and stuff. And then she like looks at me differently. So I just kept it to myself until my belly rumbled.
Freaking out, the police made this formal statement.
See, it's abusive. I live in an abusive household, right? Where she just intimidates me with her gas.
The incident was likely the result of explainable occurrences exacerbated by public fears, and a sign of the anxiety felt by women while...
She's not watching right now. She's probably, I don't know, farting.
Local men were on war service.
Nice, guys. Nobody's gassing you, dude. You guys just miss your husband, so you're acting crazy. Like, just full-on gaslighting.
JD says, I want to see what the wife looks like. This guy's wife, right? Because everyone knows what couch turfing looks like, I would assume. If you're on Twitter, follow her. She's couch turfing. She's got like 10 times the amount of followers I have. Yes, I got my account banned, and she did not, because I was fighting with a Truny Tune. All right, this is hard.
Literally, by emphasis on gas. Also, I think the cops who made that announcement think way too highly of the guy.
You think this guy's wife does OnlyFans? I mean, she might, but she's one of those chicks that makes like $30 a week on OnlyFans, right? Which has got to be the saddest shit, right? Because like, not only are you selling your dignity to the internet for money, but you're selling it for a very low price. For a very, very low price, right? So you still got nudes out there, but no one wants to see them. No one wants to see them. But you're gonna have kids eventually, And then, what do kids' friends do? They naturally look up pornography of their friend's mom. Just naturally, right? That goes without saying. We've all looked for pornos of our friend's mom, right? Right? So they're going to find dude's mom, and she's going to be horrific. She's going to be gross. But they will still post it all over the school, and they will airdrop everybody in class photos of homeboy's naked mom. As you do. Nature is healing.
In town. No husband on earth is so awesome that when they leave, their wife becomes paralyzed. That's insane. The many theories.
Couch Tripping says, listen, they don't stink, but they are mighty. I don't care. She thinks they don't stink.
These include an escaped Nazi, winds blowing fumes from nearby power plant.
No, Jess. Just because you like the smell doesn't mean they don't stink, okay?
And a phenomenon known as mass hysteria.
They do.
A rare social illness defined as a constellation of symptoms suggestive of organic illness, but without an identified cause in a group of people with shared beliefs about the cause of the symptom.
Couch Tripping says, I can't believe he talks about my fart this morning. It was a loud fart, honey, and I thought the world needed to know. So, because, yeah, it was a really, really loud fart. It was a really big fart.
Another example of mass hysteria I found are the cat nun.
Background noise in Aeneas. What's up? What's up, boys? Hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Just say impressive. What, you don't like heinous?
Let girls be girls, man. I start meowing too if I was a nun, dude. That shit seems boring as hell. But personally, I don't think the mad gasser.
Alice says, when I was pregnant, I farted a lot. I would get the walking farts. Yeah, well, Jess has been pregnant, and yeah, she farts when she's pregnant too. That's that's different. I mean, she was pregnant with my sons, so I just assumed it was my sons farting inside of her.
Of Mattoon was a case of mass hysteria. I think it
Is
was
that
a case...
not how it works? I don't know. I don't know how women work. I don't want to know. They seem complicated and scary.
Of ass hysteria.
Just a series of pipes and holes. It's weird.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
This show is sponsored by Honkai and the best game in that. And the other new when she unleashes her
result is a BBC article titled The Truth Behind Walt Disney's Frozen Head. And the other top two results are also in reference to him being frozen. So it clearly...
He's not frozen. Okay, so the people who got frozen, I think like the earlier experiments, they failed miserably. And they turned into goo for some reason. Right? They didn't freeze correctly or something like that, and all their cells got ice crystals in them, and they just turned into goo. So there goes that money. Right? So the technology to freeze people is not as good as we need it to be. Right? It's a stupid idea from the start. It's a stupid idea from the start, because you're just going to freeze your body. And then in the future, they're going to reanimate you. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they want you there? Honestly, tell me, why would they want you in the future? I mean, maybe one person or two people, but not all the dickheads that are freezing themselves. Even if you're famous, even if you're fucking famous, right? There'd be no reason to bring you back. I sure wouldn't. If there was somebody famous, I'd be like, let him just stay frozen. Because why? We don't need him. He's not going to fit in around here. It's like inviting an old guy. It's like inviting a 35-year-old to a high school party. You don't belong there. That's not your scene, bro. No, you're supposed to be at home with like your wife and kids and stuff. Not like hanging out with teenagers, getting drunk. No, man, you stay frozen. You stay frozen.
Clearly didn't fucking work. And I guess if this conspiracy was true, I'm guessing like the reason they would do this is they don't want people looking into Walt.
Background noise says you just need to put it on defrost instead of regular mode to thaw the meat. So that's what they did wrong, right? They hit the wrong buttons on the microwave, and it turned them into some sort of mush.
Disney's like personal life, or looking into the claims that he was like racist, anti-Semitic, and sexist and stuff. But if that's the case, Disney, why would you put out a movie called N-Word? Oh, sorry. I think to dispel all that stuff, I think Disney should just put out a movie called Super Nice Inclusive Guy.
Okay, so Bob Iger's Jewish. Like the last three CEOs that have run Disney have been Jewish. So do they need to do anything? Do they? If Disney was so anti-Semitic, I mean, do they need to dispel the rumors if like basically everyone at Disney now is Jewish, or everyone that runs Disney now is Jewish? Like, I don't think they need to do that, right? They don't need to do that.
We're going to keep on moving down to the third level of the icebergs. For this one, I put the Denver airport. There are many...
See, now I want to bring him back. Who? Disney? Yeah, okay, Disney I'd bring back. Just because he was like a fan of Hitler. He was like a huge fan of Hitler. Because he kind of like vaguely looked like him. So Disney was a party animal. Right? They rented out like this giant like chateau in California for like this party. And for 2 straight weeks, they just did blow and drank as much as they possibly could and like ran out naked and like the most debauchery. And these were like Disney animators, right? That drew kids cartoons. They were doing things that like modern frats wouldn't dream of doing, which is actually kind of sad, right? Because kids today, not even saying I was all right. People don't party like they used to. It's the fact of life, right? Maybe there's too much entertainment. You know, everyone has their computers and stuff like that. And I get that, but people don't party like they used to. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I know the founding fathers partied hard too, right? Ben Franklin was a lout. It's just this generation, and you know, they're not going to party like that, which is kind of sad.
Conspiracy surrounding the airport, and I'm going to try to talk about all of them. So the Denver airport opened to the public in 1995, and when it was built, citizens of Colorado were already like raising their eyebrows about it because they already had the perfectly fine Stapleton Airport just a short drive away. So people began speculating that this airport was built for a different reason. And the reason people think the airport was built was to house a secret underground tunnel system that leads to survival bunkers for the elites, military bases, alien research facilities, and homes for lizard humanoid creatures.
Okay, but facts though, there are plenty of underground like survival shelters in Colorado. Right? The Denver airport is weird, and it's like it's got a bunch of weird paintings and stuff, and it's weird. And is there an underground labyrinth underneath the Denver airport? Yeah, probably, almost certainly. I'm sure of it. Is that a conspiracy though? I mean, a lot of airports have underground facilities. Disney has a maze of tunnels underneath it. In Orlando, it has a maze of tunnels, right? And that's where they kidnap children, and they kidnap children and they take them through those tunnels, and the other mascots and stuff are just supposed to they're supposed to look away, right? They're not supposed to interfere or else they get fired, right? And they need that mouse job, right? They landed Mickey Mouse. That's like the head guy. So they can't lose that gig, right? So they're going to let that little kid get abducted and, you know, I'm convinced that the people that work at Disney are not good people. Like, sure, some of them, yeah. Most of them, no. No. Hard no.
And you know what? Pretty diverse community down there, if I'm being honest. Okay, that sounds fucking awesome.
I think they work at Disney to put on this air about them as there's this very nice, oh, it's old Uncle blah blah, and he's so nice, he works at Disney, and he's probably a real piece of shit, you know?
If that's all true, they're probably all having a blast down there in the tunnels. Hey, sorry I'm late. It's alright, man. We just have a lot of flights. Dude, what the fuck happened? Yeah, I hung out with the lizard people last night, and I fell asleep under their heat lamp. No, dude, you're missing an arm. Oh, yeah. Well, they told me it would grow back. What else did they tell you? Apparently I can save 15% or more on my car insurance by switching to Geico. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there aren't tunnels underneath the, like, literal biggest airport in America. Like, you need ways to get around quickly away from large groups of people, and you need an efficient way to transport luggage. So I think that's what they're there for, not fucking aliens and lizard humanoids. But people think the art inside the Denver airport...
But hold on. Hold on. So, like, the government says there's aliens. Are you still saying... So this guy has been backing up what the government says about, like, 9/11 and the moon and stuff like that. But when the government comes out and says there are aliens, he's like, nah. It's weird that you're, like, agreeing with the government on these points, but disagreeing on this point. You believe in the moon landing and the way 9/11, they said, rolled out. But you just can't believe in aliens? Were you on the moon? Did you see that? I don't know. This guy's weird, dude. He looks like he eats a lot of cereal. You know, I don't know why I want to say that. But he looks like he eats a lot of cereal. Like children's cereal, right? And he, like, puts it in a bowl, and he puts the milk in first because he's a psychopath, right? And then he puts, like, the Fruit Loops on top of it, or the Lucky Charms or something. And so it doesn't get wet with the milk, and he just crunches into dry cereal until he's done. And then he drinks the milk afterwards. That's how he eats his cereal. I know. I hate him, too. I hate him for that, too.
Is also alluding to the Illuminati and the Freemasons and other secret groups controlling the world. The main piece of evidence they use to support their theories is the large...
Alice says, my teenage daughter isn't out of my sight enough to party. Well, get her out of your sight. You want to be a grandma, right?
Horse statue outside of the airport named Blucifer. Now, I've personally been to this airport and I've seen Blucifer with my own eyes, and I gotta say, it's pretty fucking creepy. It is weird. It's a big blue horse with glowing red eyes. It's spooky, and what makes it even scarier is the artist behind the statue, Luis Jimenez. He actually died while working on the statue. A piece of the statue fell on him and severed a tendon, and he sadly passed away, which is wild. And, you know, instead of being a normal person and being like, wow, that's a tragedy, I'm really sad that happened, conspiracy theorists are like, see, it's this airport too. And if you go to the airport today, you'll notice that they're really playing into it. They reference aliens all over. They're always joking about conspiracy theories, and I think that's awesome. That's super funny. They should go even further. I think all the people working should wear, like, super realistic alien masks all day.
Okay. It could be a joke. Or they could be telling you the truth in a joking manner. And then when they came out, they're all like, what? We've been telling you this whole time. And you're like, I thought that was a joke. And they're all like, well, you're stupid. It could be one of those. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. It could be.
But the annoying thing about conspiracy theorists, no matter what you do or say...
Alice says, one day I want grandkids, but not anytime soon. Why don't you just send your daughter out, put her on the back of a random motorcycle. She'll come back a few weeks later, and then you'll have a grandkid. And fingers crossed it's not black.
They'll find a way to make that support their own theories. For example, the top comment on a YouTube video explaining all the conspiracy theories is, best way to hide something that people know is going on is to do it in plain sight and make it all a joke. Shut up.
That's true, though.
Shut
That's
the
true.
fuck up. Because
I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but that's
the Denver
true.
airport never mentioned it or didn't talk about it ever, this same person will be commenting, oh, why haven't they said anything about it? They're being awfully quiet about this. That means they're hiding something. And also, this isn't the airport conspiracy theory that we need to be worrying about. We need people, boots on the ground. We need people researching why it is that the second people walk into an airport, they become the dumbest version of themselves. Except for me. Nobody knows how to behave in airports except for me. I'm convinced. All right, sorry. I could complain about airports all day. Let's move over to the third level.
I'll tell you why, bro. Because airports are international spaces, right? They're not technically part of the country. They're kind of like an international no man's land. And a lot of people from a lot of different countries are walking through airports. A lot of different countries that don't have the same customs and manners as someone like you would have. So what you would consider rude or you know, impolite or something like that might be totally normal to them. This happens from people with a lot from Asian countries. They don't know how to line up. Like if you line up, like you go into the Starbucks, you line up and shit. They will stand uncomfortably close to you. They have no bubble. There's no bubble. There's no bubble. And I'm not talking like American Asians. I'm talking about, you know, ducks in the window, fresh off the boat Asians. They don't understand that people like at least 6 inches from away from their body. You know, at least 6 inches. Give me that. Give me, please, just give me that. And then you talk in your language. There's a lot of spit coming out of your mouth if you're not wearing a mask. And they usually wear masks, which is polite of them. But that mask is for them because they're kind of gross people, right? They spit. And I'm just saying, not all Asians, but certain Asians, you guys, not into it.
Of modern conspiracy theories. This level I put celebrity reincarnation. This is a theory that celebrities that have passed away are reincarnated into new.
I mean, it says calling people cowards needs to be normalized again, and the term filthy foreigner. I can get behind that. Filthy foreigner is a good one. Calling people cowards, I never stopped doing that. I mean, it's not in my lexicon as much as I would actually like it to be. But I'm not afraid to use it. But yeah, there's so many cowards out there today that it's like, it's a pointless insult. There's no reason to use it because of course he's a coward. He has no, look at this guy. Doesn't you think he has any testicles? He looks like he used to be a woman, you know, and he's like pretending to be a guy. You know what I mean? So like this, and you know, right? Look at the jaw structure. You think he's going to be good at war? I don't know. I don't think so. He could surprise you and be an absolute animal, right? And just fear no death. But I kind of doubt it.
Celebrity. There's a meme that's been going around lately that's sort
yellow-bellied
of this idea. On the left here,
Yellow-bellied's
Kubrick
a good
died 1999, and then on the right here, born 2000, it's Ice Spice, and at the bottom it says "Welcome back, Stanley Kubrick." Ice Spice directed the moon landing, dude. You know how I know? What is it called when you show your butt to someone? Mooning. And what does Ice Spice do when she's singing her awesome songs? Proof is in the pudding, brother. I also saw a meme like this on my subreddit recently too that I want.
Does anybody like Ice Spice? I've never heard one of her songs, but it seems like they would be terrible. And is she like some sort of coffee beverage? I'm old. I'm just old. I'm not down. I'm not hip with the young kids in their latte lingo. I don't know what they're talking about, and their rap music and stuff, and it's scary and new, and I don't like it.
want to talk about. Died in 1994, born 1994. Welcome back, Kurt Cobain. Now, this was actually...
Okay, 1994. So he's only... he's only 4 years... Jess was born in 1990, so 4 years younger than Jess. So he's 30. He's 30.
Pretty crazy because we got the same name. We're both Kurt's. But we also have the same initials. He died April 5th, 1994, which is 04/05, 1994. And I was born on May 4th, 1994, which is 05/04/94.
Oh my God.
And I also just found out while researching Kurt Cobain's life that his ancestors actually lived in
Background noise says it's Old Spice for women, right? Ice Spice? Yeah. No, it's Old Spice for Eskimos.
Cornwall, Ontario, a mere 4-hour drive from where I was born in Toronto. Kurt Cobain also had divorced parents.
That's the problem. We were like ragging on this dude for like, why is he so feminine? And like, why does he seem like such a bitch nigga? Right? It's because he was born in Toronto. Oh, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. At least he's not from Quebec, right? At least he's not from Quebec, because the people from Quebec are awful people, right? They're French people, but they live in Canada, but they don't like the French people or the Canadian people. They're a unique subgenre of absolute tool bags. People from Quebec are the worst. They're the worst, right? And I'm not saying that about French people in general, because if you go to like Louisiana, there's French people down there. They're perfectly friendly. I mean, they're kind of stupid, but they're perfectly friendly. But people from Quebec suck, dude. They just suck. I'm sorry if you're from Quebec. I'm not even saying it right, I'm sure. But I don't know, try harder. Nobody has ever heard of Quebec. I don't know where you get your sense of superiority. It's astonishing to me. I don't get it.
Like me, he played Little League Baseball like me, and apparently everybody in his high school thought he was gay. Just like me. And also, the last time I was in New York, someone stopped me and asked for a picture, and they seriously, no joke, they called me Kurt Cobain, which was probably hands down the funniest fan interaction I've ever had, because she was with her dad, who was clearly like a Nirvana fan, and he was like, yo, what the fuck? That's obviously not Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain has a little bit less head, so that's how you know.
Dead for a long time. A lot of quinky dinks, but I can assure you, I am not Kurt Cobain. I did see a pretty wild video making some bold claims about a different celebrity reincarnation theory that I would love to talk about. The title of this video is, Did Princess Diana...
JD Grab says the French are a bunch of surrender monkeys. Dude, you're British. So, I mean, the British and the French do not like each other. And I don't like either of them. But admittedly, I dislike the French more than I dislike the British. Whatever. You know, that's a personal opinion. If you think differently, if you like the French better than the British, that's fine too. They're both pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. But the French are easily worse. I'm sorry. And if there's any French people in the chat, don't take this as a personal slight. It's more of a generalization, right? Just because it's more efficient for me to judge you based on your race. I found that's really helpful for me. If you don't want to do it like that, that's fine. You know, that's fine. You can judge people on an individual case-by-case basis. It's going to take forever, but you can do it. I just find it much easier to generalize people. If you look a certain way, I assume you're going to act a certain way. I think there's a term for it. I don't know.
Diana reincarnate as the global pop star Jeon Jungkook.
Hit the like button. I know I have to keep saying that. Just hit the damn like button.
Before we get into this video, let me preface this by saying,
go over to YouTube and hit the like button there too.
I am not criticizing BTS or the fans of BTS. I have nothing against them. I've only heard bangers from BTS. I have no beef whatsoever.
Onia says it's funny that in general Americans hate French more when France helped us far more than Britain. Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. And they even gave us a nice statue of a chained up girl. And they put it right in New York. And the French did help us, but not because they like us. The French helped us because they hated the British. Again, which is completely fair. The British do suck. They're I mean, right? I mean, the Irish hate the British too. But the Irish suck too. So it's like, and all of these people decided to get on a boat and go over to America where they don't hate each other. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird. I don't know. Because Jess is French, right? She's like, her grandmother came from France. So how do I feel about it? I try not to think about it. Okay. It's different. It's just different. It's a cultural thing. It's not the person. It's not like a genetic factor, right? It's a cultural thing. You grow up in France and then you become a Frenchman, which is like, that's lame, dude. But the same for a lot of places too. But don't think that the English are getting off scot-free, all right? Oh, the Scots. Oh, my God. The entire region is just garbage.
So, okay, keep it up. This was just a silly video that I want to talk about. All right, leave me alone.
Princess Diana died on August...
You're lucky you got to escape to Australia. But then, you guys weren't even, like, strong enough to be like, we don't want to be a part of England. So now you still have, like, women on your money and stuff. And now you can't have guns, dude. That sucks. Wow. Pretty lame, Australia.
31st, 1990.
Now I hate the Australians.
Around 3 a.m. at midnight. Jungkook was born on the 1st of September 1997 around 3:25 a.m. That is exactly 24 hours later. Not only that, both of them were born on the 1st of the month.
Crazy. I'll summarize the other points made in the video really quick. So they both became public figures when they were 16 years old. Jungkook is from South Korea, and that's very important because the last trip Princess Diana and Prince Charles took before their divorce was...
Oh, Jess says great-grandmother. She says, my great-grandmother loved Southern culture so much she completely let go of her French side. Yet your great-grandmother, who arrived in Florida in like the 1800s, enjoyed Southern culture. There was like 20 people here, honey. There was like 20 people in Florida, in all of Florida. I don't think it was much of a culture, but okay, whatever.
Was to South Korea. And on the flip side of that, London, England.
Seriously, look at how many people were in Florida just like 20 or 30 years ago. There was nobody here. Now there's like 24 million people here.
Is very important to Jungkook because
I'm not from Florida. I'm from California. And I hate that place worse than France or England or Scotland or Ireland or Australia or any of those places. California is hell on earth. Okay? And if you ever get the opportunity to go there, say no. Hobble yourself if you have to. Break every finger you have so you can't be like, yeah, I'll come to California. Don't do that. Never do that. Never, ever, ever do that. I haven't been back in years, and I have family that I miss dearly. But no, because they live in California, and I will not go back.
BTS was the first Korean
Sorry,
band to
Grandma.
play at
I love you, and I haven't seen you in years, and I probably won't.
Wembley Stadium. They also have the same personality types. They're both the same height. And then this is the part of the video where they put up some hilarious side-by-side comparisons. They both took black and white pictures, man. Can't argue with that.
Princess Di was she was like the princess, right? I know her name was Princess Di, but like there's like duchesses and stuff. There's it's complicated there. Why was she so famous? Just because she was a princess? I don't get it. What do? They just Just born famous. I mean, I get that. People are born famous here, right? And like, if you're born to certain parents, you're automatically going to have like a career in Hollywood and stuff. But they didn't do any of that. They were just lounging around, being royals. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. A royal family. I mean, you can be a rich ass family, but royalty? I don't know. Weird place. Weird place.
They've both looked up before. Not a lot of people do that, man. I've never done it. I don't even know how. Obviously, you can do these side-by-side comparisons with like any celebrities. You can find pictures that look a little similar. But the craziest part of this theory is yet to come.
Moving to next is the day Queen Elizabeth passed away.
Yeah. So there was a popular tweet.
Alice says, yeah, she was a princess. No, she was really nice and not like the other royals. I'll take your word for it. Everyone loved her. My parents owned a grocery store back then, and I remember her face being on all the magazines. Everyone talked about her. Why? Then she died, and everyone was super sad. I remember when she died. I remember it came on the TV, and they're like, Princess Diana has died. It was like a news flash and stuff. And I was all like, okay. Okay. I don't. It was like 1997, I think. I wasn't old enough to realize that didn't affect me in any way. But it didn't affect me in any way.
That claims that
I was literally on the other side of the planet. I'm sure I'm going to get blamed for Princess Diana's death in some way. It just seems like it seems like somebody's going to blame me for her death and like really grasp at straws about how 8-year-old, 9-year-old me is responsible for Princess Diana's death. And they might be convincing, and I might believe them and be like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to chase her. I just wanted a picture. I just wanted to, get a picture of her. And so I chased her into this tunnel, and she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and she hit that center divide, and I'm just so sorry.
25 years, the reincarnated person, Princess Diana in this case, has a 7-day window of consciousness to fulfill their unfinished business. This is in reference to the fact that the queen died 7 days after Jungkook's 25th birthday. So I guess Princess Diana had 7 days of consciousness in Jungkook's body. And on the 7th day, I guess she fucking killed the queen? It sounds wild, but they have proof to back it up. BTS did a live stream a few hours before the queen's death. And apparently Jungkook was being very quiet and he seemed really tired, which is unlike him. And this inspired probably the funniest tweet of all time. Jungkook was getting sleepy during the live because the spirit of Diana within him was getting stronger, and she needed to take over his body to finally witness the death of Queen Elizabeth.
So there's a conspiracy theory that the royal family killed Princess Diana for... I think she wanted to marry outside. I think she wanted to marry outside of royalty or something like that. I don't remember the specific theory. Maybe he's going over it and I'm just not listening.
Dude, that's so funny, man. Imagine the band members are just like, Jungkook, what's going on?
Background noise says, you shouldn't have been driving that night, John. You were tired and had a science project due. Yeah. And I was also a paparazzi. And also 9. So I shouldn't have been driving in France in the first place. And like you said, I had a science project due. Like I ever did my fucking homework when I was a kid. Not once did I do my homework. And they're always like, you don't understand the gravity of your situation. Yeah, I'm a prisoner. You guys won't let me leave and force me to fucking make glue stick projects. Leave me alone. Right? The only gravity that I am suffering from is you guys being complete fucking assholes to me because you want me to build a castle out of sugar cubes. Go fuck yourselves. Go away. Why am I a prisoner here? The food is awful and everybody hates me and I don't want to do these things. Why do I have to be here? That was the gravity of my situation. Fuck you guys. I hated school. I hated it with every fiber of my being. And not just like high school, right? Where I was like angsty and like, oh, nobody cares. No, when I was a young child full of light and wonder and the world was new. And then I went to school and I'm like, this fucking sucks, dude. This is bullshit. Why am I forced to be? Oh, like the cops will bring me back, huh? Oh, damn. We're in a serious situation, guys. There's like cameras and shit everywhere. That's a prison, dude. That's a prison. You have to wait in line to get fed and stuff like that, and you might get stabbed. That's a prison, y'all. They literally call it detention. Detention. Like where they detain you in a room that locks from the outside. God.
Why are you so tired? Jungkook is gone. Only Princess Diana remains. Okay, let's move on down to the next level. We're now halfway down the iceberg, so things are going to start to get pretty...
Hogdog says, what happened to Fergie, Duchess of York? I don't know. I think she got fat. And, is York big? York must... I mean, who cares about York? There's a New York now.
Weird. This next theory in the old iceberg...
Which actually used to be called New Amsterdam. And they changed it to New York. Because, I don't know, they kicked out the Dutch or something? That would be my guess.
Is lottery trap.
Have you ever heard of the lottery conspiracy theory? You know when you go inside of a gas station and you find lottery tickets and people buy them and they scratch them off in hopes of winning millions of dollars. What if I told you about the conspiracy theory that says the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers? I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me, it's going to make a lot of sense.
Okay.
You have a 1 in 300 million chance of winning this lottery. Or in other words, you would need to be struck by lightning 21 times back to back in order to win this lottery.
Okay, I don't know if that's how that works. The way he worded that was really funny. You need to get struck by lightning 21 times in a row in order to win the lottery. That's easy, dude. If you want to win the lottery real quick, during a thunderstorm, go to an open field, hold a big metal rod, you win the lottery. Walk into a convenience.
You just be in Florida. You'll get hit by lightning. Like, lightning happens everywhere. People get hit by lightning. If you're in Florida and lightning's coming, you go inside because people get hit by lightning all the time. All the fucking time here. Like, especially like people like on motorcycles on the freeway, they'll get hit by lightning. People on a golf course, like in the backswing, they'll get hit by lightning. You're on the beach, you're going to get hit by lightning. And most people are fine. I imagine.
Store burnt to a crisp, like, where's my money? Yeah, like the TikTok said, this is the theory that claims that the lottery was created by the government to catch time travelers.
Hogdog says, didn't Charles end up on Epstein Island? Yeah. They all did. The redheaded one, all of them, dude. Every last one of them. Yes. Yeah. They probably have their own island. And they just went to Epstein's Island because, you know, there's like a pedo island convention and everyone had to show up and wear their animal masks and run around with torches at night raping people. I don't know. I'm not one of the elite. Okay? And I thank my lucky stars every day for that fact because I'm sure their life is fun, but it seems evil. Evil would be the right term for it. And I don't know, not my bag, dude. And I think you kind of have to be evil because everyone else is evil. And if you're not evil, then they're going to be like, this guy's going to fucking snitch on us. We have to make him do something evil so we can blackmail him so we can keep doing evil things. So you kind of have to be, right? You kind of have to be, right? So Tom Hanks, you know you are guilty. Will Smith, you know you are guilty. Jack Black, all of them. Kevin Spacey, all of them. Every fucking last one of them. Every last one of them.
That's what you got to do with people who can travel through time. You just got to catch them. It is super funny that they use the word catch. Just picturing the person who won the lottery going into the lottery building to, you know, claim their prize. And they walk into the building, Chris...
So I travel back in time in my DeLorean, right, to the year 19 whatever, and I buy a lottery ticket that I know is going to win, and then I get dollars from that era, and I take them back to the future, where we have the technology to go to the past machines. And then there's just a glut of past dollars that are worthless, right? Because everyone does that. Everyone goes into the past and wins a bunch of past money and then brings it to the future. And then there's just tons of it. So nobody wants it. What's the point of that, bro? What's the point of that? Are you going to go back in time and just live in the past and use the past money there? I mean, I guess that'd be fun for a time. But then everyone's like, where'd this lottery winner appear from and then disappear too? Why don't we see that story more often? Lottery winner vanishes. We don't see that headline. I would love to see that headline.
Hansen is just like,
Why don't you have a seat right over there?
Obviously, the odds of winning the lottery are very, very low, like next to impossible. But that doesn't mean the winner is a time traveler, right? Like, someone has to win the lottery. If this was true, it'd be super fucked up if someone won the lottery, like, fair and square, but the government still thinks that they're a time traveler. So you're from the future, huh? No. Flying cars, vacation.
I would be like, is Nancy Pelosi a time traveler? Because she's making some stock picks that are highly suspect. There's no way she just happens to be the Speaker of the House for so many years. Oh, and the best stock picker of all time. Of all time. That doesn't make sense. What do you make? You make $115,000 a year and you're worth like $60 million? Something doesn't add up. Oh, speaking fees. Oh, your book deal. Because everybody wants to read Nancy Pelosi's book, right? On everybody's mantle is Nancy Pelosi's book, How to Be a Cunt and Sleep with Kennedy. That's what it's titled.
Vacations to Pluto. Not good enough for you, huh?
She fucked Kennedy.
You had to come all the way back here just to make a quick buck.
When Kennedy was president, she was like a 19-year-old intern. She fucked Kennedy.
Well...
She was good looking too.
I caught you. Sir, I bought a lottery ticket just like everybody else, okay? I just got lucky. Tell the truth, you fucking piece of shit. Alright, fine. Jesus. You can't say that shit. Whatever. Okay, look, I'm not from this time, okay? But I'm not a time...
Background noise says you're overthinking it. Read this week's numbers, then go back 7 days. No. Okay, so time travel has very strict rules, okay? And that's sent by the Federal Time Travel Commission in the future, right? So you have to go back at least 50 years, I think. It's a certain amount of time to where you can't cause, like, changes in your timeline that are very significant. You have to go back to a certain time. You can't just go back a week or something like that, because that would change too much in the present and people would constantly be redoing mistakes and it would just be a nightmare, right? So they have to go back at least before they're born, right? So they can't interfere with their own life like that. It causes too many paradoxes. So yeah, you just can't jump back a week, you know? There's rules. There's rules, background noise. I can't believe you don't understand this.
Time traveler. All I really did was travel from my dimension to a parallel dimension where I won the lottery. That's impossible. It's string theory, sir. There's an infinite number of parallel dimensions, each a little different than the last. Anything is possible. Hell, there's probably a dimension out there where you and I are making out. Maybe it's this one. Stop! I'm you from the future. Don't kiss him. He's really bad at it. Hey! I don't really believe this theory that much. And even so, like, if people are smart enough to figure out time travel, fucking let them do it. Why do you gotta catch them?
Onia says, oh yeah, it's starting to come back to me. It's been so long I don't even remember. Sorry. I have to go back to JD Grab's comment. It says, I'm telling you, Jimbo, Diana has had more fellas than I've had hot dinners. Prince Andrew was a pal of Maxwell's. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Princess Diana fucked a lot of... Yeah. Okay. Okay. Dude, he's British. He would know, right? He's got the in. And I don't know if there's all that many people in England. I don't think there is. So he must know them or be related. JD, are you royalty? Are you British royalty? Or like a cousin of that? I know you guys inbreed a lot. Are you one of them? How many people are in England? Like 1,000?
That they earn that. Also, it doesn't really check out when you realize that like half the people who win the fucking lottery go bankrupt in the next like 5 years. That would mean they're smart enough to invent time travel, but not smart enough to hire an accountant. Gotcha. All right, we're gonna move over to the 4th level of the modern conspiracy theories now. And for this level, I put humiliation rituals. This is one that I've seen pop up a bunch over this past year especially. So let's watch a TikTok that explains it fully.
The humiliation ritual is used by the elite to...
Onia says all British people have tea with the Queen on Tuesday. See, yeah, I knew it. Hog Dog says, yeah, it's like 1,400 people. It has to be. It has to be because like it's small. And, you know, there's not a lot of room. And would you like to stay in England? Would you like to, if you were born and you're all like, it's gray and it's cold and it rains a lot and everyone here is sad, would you stay? Would you? No, you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't.
Ensure absolute devotion and loyalty during the initiation process. Rejection, pain, and embarrassment is used to humble the initiant. The elites are doing this because it's proving to the initiant that yes, you're gonna receive power, fame, money, all of these things, but they are just a puppet and the master is pulling their strings.
So pretty fucking insane. A lot of people comment like, oh,
there's gotta be a humiliation ritual.
Whenever there's a...
Who says there's not humiliation rituals? Who says that's not true? Who says that's not true? I don't know. It makes sense to me. Anyways, guys, our time has come to an end. And if you want to watch this again, time travel back to the past before I started the show, and then watch it again, and then make different comments. Or you could just watch the rerun. We have that technology too. Anyways, guys, thank you for coming. I hope you learned something, or I don't care if you didn't. You know, whatever. Had fun. That's really the main point. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Be awesome. Be excellent. Do those things that make Cult Daddy proud. You know you do. Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink that Kool-Aid. Have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday to delight your ears with my whimsical nonsense. So, Godspeed to you. Godspeed to you. You know you're powerful. You know you're handsome. You know you're going to make all your dreams come true. All you need to do is put one foot in front of the other and start. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you guys on Monday. Be awesome to each other. Be excellent. Drink some water. Get a good night's sleep. And take care of yourselves, because I care about you too. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. I love you. Bye. I'm an incredible soul. Hit the like. Like a bulldog's fist growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, but Loch Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, rolling like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.